Hello again. It's Sunday, which means it's time for my Booktuber Shoutouts. So, let's just get on to the shoutouts. First person I'm going to shout out is Lenny Literary. I watched her 16 books, huge book haul, and she had a bunch of books that she talked about that were really interesting. Book called Unkindness of Magicians, This Mortal Coil, which I've heard about. She has Circe in there. Another book called The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, which sounds really interesting. She had Riley Sager's Last Time I Lied, All the Beautiful Lies, a whole bunch of books that were really interesting. Again, really nice personality. Definitely a person I think you should check out. That is Lenny Literary. Next person I'm going to talk about is the Literature Bug. I watched another book haul library edition. She was talking about the library, really good video about libraries and a bunch of books she got from the library and books she borrowed from the library and a bunch of really good books. A bunch of children's books she talked about. She also had Son of a Witch, which I do have and want to read one day. Another book called Firefly Code, which sounded really good. House of Furies, The Heretic's Daughter, about the Salem witch trials, which also sounded good. And again, just a bunch of books, really nice personality, really enjoyed watching her video. Look forward to seeing more from the Literature Bug. Next person I'm going to talk about is Yitmarak. I watched her first book haul and she had, again, a lot of great books. Illuminae, Stranger Dreamer, a book called Broken Things that sounded really good. Another book called The Secret History that also sounded really good. Prisoner of Night and Fog, another book that sounded really interesting. And again, just really nice personality, really enjoyed watching her video and look forward to seeing more. So that is Yitmarak, the book lover. Next person we're going to talk about is Abibliophobes. I watched her book haul August and September. Bunch of interesting books. Children of Blood and Bone, which I've read and loved. To Kill a Kingdom, which I do want to pick up one day. Sea Witch, which I do have and look forward to reading. And she talked about The Travelers as well. And again, just really nice video. Really enjoyed watching her stuff. Look forward to seeing more. That is a Bibliophobes. Next person we're going to talk about is Not Your Average Miranda. I watched her August wrap-up. She talked about a book called Caged, which sounded really good. She also talked about Last Time I Lied. Another book called Tear Me Apart, which sounds really good. And again, just really nice style, really nice personality. And I do look forward to seeing more from this booktuber that is Not Your Average Miranda. Next person I'm going to talk about is A Cup of Books. I watched her Autumn TBR, books I want to get to next. And she had a bunch of interesting books as well. She had the second book in the Bear and the Nightingale series, The Girl in the Tower. I actually have that on Kindle, The Bear and the Nightingale, and I got to read that one day. She talked about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. She talked about a book called Last Night in Montreal, which sounded really interesting. The Boy on the Bridge, which is a sequel to The Girl with All the Gifts, or a companion novel to The Girl with All the Gifts, which I do want to pick up one day. Another book called The Humans, which sounded good. She also had Strange Weather by Joe Hill. She's a big Joe Hill fan. And again, just a bunch of books that were really interesting, really nice TBR, really fun video to watch, and I look forward to seeing more from A Cup of Books. Next person I'm going to talk about is the Joycean Booknerd. I watched her Witch Please, My Halloween TBR, where she talked about witch books that she's going to be reading, and they all sounded really interesting. The Witch's Daughter was one, A Discovery of Witches was another one, Bone Witch I do want to read, The Physic Book of Deliverance Dane sounded really interesting as well. She also had Truth Witch in there, and again, really cute video, really liked it. Do look forward to seeing more from this booktuber that is the Joycean Booknerd. Next person I'm going to talk about is Book Boop. I watched her rapid fire birthday book haul. Really nice video, really quick little wrap up of all her books that she picked up for her birthday, and a really good book. A bunch of Mary Donovan Hahn books, which I've never heard of this author, but there were a bunch of different ghost story books from this author. One for Sorrow, Took, The Girl in the Locked Room. Sounded really interesting. She also had City of Ghosts, which I did read and really enjoyed. She had Stars Above, which I haven't read, but I do want to read since I've read all of the Lunar Chronicles now, so I do want to start reading some of the companion novels as well. She talked about Wires and Nerve, which is a graphic novel set in that universe as well. She talked about Heartless, which I haven't read yet, and she also talked about Caraval, which I also love. And again, really nice video, really quick, concise, great video to watch. That is Book Boop. Next person I'm going to talk about is Anna Reads. I watched her another library book haul. She had a couple of interesting books. She talked about Warcross. She talked about a book called Emily the Strange and The Winner's Curse and Ruby Red. And again, just a really nice video. Really enjoyed watching it. Look forward to seeing more from this booktuber. booktuber, that is Anna Reads. And the last person I'm going to talk about is Marcy Reads. I watched her August 2018 wrap up. Really nice style, really like the humorous quality of her videos, really nice self-deprecating humor that she did, and again, just really enjoyed watching the video. She talked a lot about middle grade books that sounded really interesting. She talked about the Cirque the Freak books, or Wild in the Wood was a book she talked about as well that sounded interesting, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and she also talked about some darker thriller horror books, All the Missing Girls, Kill River 2, which I did also enjoy, Rolling in the Deep, which was the prequel to In the Drowning Deep, which I did love that book. Again, just really great personality, really enjoyed her video, and definitely somebody I think you should check out. That is Marcy Reads. And those are all the booktubers that I'm going to be shouting out this week for my booktube shoutout video. Like always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.